Real quick, I was
Disappointing.
gonna say, like, where else is he gonna go? You're at this age in your career. I mean, sure, you can probably go to another league and play more, but do you want to really leave London? Because, he was with Fulham, then he came to us. This is where he's been for a really long time. You're gonna ask him to completely uproot his life to get a couple more games in, and then, that's a personal decision for him moving forward in his life. I don't know if that's something he's got to weigh in to the picture of his decision. But if he's willing to completely move, it may be worth it just to stay, and it works out for us.
6 years with us, 8 years in London. Yeah, I think he's the kind of guy I see retiring at the top of his game versus, unless he wants to go back home to Belgium and play. But I think he would rather go out on top and probably retire at 33, 34 if we can get those extra years out of him, even in a role that isn't where it is right now as we develop his successor.
So some of the aftermath of this match, and Dembele, listen, I hope he's with the club another 2 or 3 years and continues to prove himself worthy of the selection that Pochettino is making for him. But the banter, Vass, Simon, I
Yes.
mean the banter that's going on right now on social media forums. People are saying, "Oh, we can banter Arsenal fans, or we can banter with Liverpool, we can banter with United." But God, you try to banter with a Spurs fan, and all they want to do is make threats at you, and they make no sense whatsoever half the time. Talking about trophies and they're grasping at straws. It seems. Vass, you've been kind of involved in some of this mix, at least from afar, and maybe getting a little involved. What are you seeing out there?
I'm seeing a load of jealous crybabies that can't handle the fact that their team is on the demise. Um, yeah, I mean, that chap who's on Arsenal Fan TV was giving it large pre-game, and
DT.
yeah, him. So
Yeah.
I thought I'd give him some back. Told him to go suck his mum and things like that. So
Bass, you didn't.
uh,
Get in there, son.
My
you
word.
know what? It's just like it's ridiculous, mate. And they all the Arsenal fans now are like, well, if they didn't have Harry Kane, they'll be like Middlesbrough. If they didn't have Ericsson, they'll be Swindon. And all this nonsense that's coming out of their mouths, they just
They're
can't
already
handle it.
swindon.
They're going into meltdown, guys. And we
Yeah.
were saying not that long ago about when we were covering the transfer window that they bought a couple of good players, but we all said that that's not addressing their issues. Their issues are in midfield and their issues are in defence, and they got exposed again yesterday. They should have lost 4-0 yesterday quite
Yeah.
comfortably. So as far as they go, I don't give a flying fuck. They can go and do one. It's just no time of day for them. They're,
I
they're on
think
the way down, and I'll enjoy every moment of it.
Oh yeah, and I think one of the interesting couple of tweets that I saw was some people are accusing Wenger of purposely sabotaging the club by not buying the players that they need, fully just throwing people into attack, selling off their best talent in Sanchez and maybe even Ozil after this contract extension that he got in the summer to make him more valuable. And thinking that's part of his MO as a custodian of the club for 20 plus years. Look, I'm no Wenger fan, but listen, that's a long run, and you have to at least admire the fact that he's been around that long, and we hope that Pochettino certainly can do the same for us. Simon, you've been around Arsenal fans and bantered back and forth with them for a very long time. Is this really kind of the beginning of at least for the near term future, the end for them?
Well, we've talked about power shifts, and I don't want to say that because that's a daft expression. But there's this one guy from the Dallas Gooners Society, and I think you saw the graphic, the LMAO, Lacazette, Mkhitaryan, Aubameyang, and Özil. The graphic. I just posted it out on his page. I said that is all. And of course, he said, "Oh, so suddenly you've got some banter." I'm like, I'll always have banter when you're shit, mate. But the best thing he could come up with was, well, we beat you 2-0 at our place, so we must be twice as good as you. I'm like, really?
What?
To
Really?
Ken's point, yeah, they are clutching at straws, and
You know
DT
what,
was
Ches? The only thing that, sorry to interrupt, the only thing they've got against us at the moment, or that they can hold up against us presently, is the fact that they've been winning trophies fairly regularly over the years, and we haven't. As soon
it's
as
been
we,
20 years. It's been 20 years. If you
yeah,
go back to probably the first few years of the Premier League, we were evenly matched. Our record down the years was pretty similar. Purple patches in history, yeah. I mean, they had the Chapman years. We had the Nicholson years. But up until the first couple of years into the Premier League, it was even. So it is absolutely...
once we address that, once we can start winning trophies, God willing, then it just puts everything to bed, doesn't it?
Right. And I think, theirs is a slower demise than ours back in the mid-90s, because when the Premier League started, we were already crap. And we just continued to get worse for about another years until, Yol pulled us up by the bootstraps. But at that point, there's already stuffed their cabinet with Premier League championships and FA Cup wins. And, yeah, they're right to throw in our faces the 3 wins in the last 4 years. That's an impressive record for any club. And, they're in another final, right? They play in a couple of weeks. So it's critical that we can capitalize so that the banter can continue at an extreme.
Sam, you're not one that usually gets into a lot of banter talk. I say that very cheekily. You've had some fun with this, right?
Well, I did. It's interesting. My brother, right, Darren, who lives in Golders Green, North London. He grew up with the Invincibles. He's the dark side of the family, and over the years we've sort of learned that we just get so passionate about our respective clubs that we've sort of learned to not talk a lot about football. But we did this week. And he reached out to me, and I'm looking at his WhatsApp. He said, prediction on Saturday. I said, I think we'll win, if I'm honest. I never like saying it against you lot. We're playing very well, very cohesively. If we win, probably puts you lot out of contention again. That said, probably lose. Aubameyang, great signing, but Everton was woeful. You lot have shown a lack of spine on a number of occasions. We were played off the park at Emirates. I think we have a score to settle. And so then I'm just trying to...
real quick, Sam, did you send that in one text or like an individual text per sentence?
Die, Tim. I'm coming over to glass you repeatedly right now. Hang on.
Speaking of banter.
But Tim's right. He's...
I am an over texter over yes, that's right. Here we go. So he just sends me out of the blue yesterday after the match. Says, we didn't turn up. I said, nope. I said, all those stars, no culture, no identity, and no fabric. I said, Coco telling Wilshere, fuck you, pussy, over and over was priceless, which it was. Coco Lamela won a lot of fans over yesterday. I know we'll spend a lot of time on that. But I said, but even still, you almost got a draw, right? So, I mean, it still kind of puts things in context. I mean, fine margins yesterday, and we could be lamenting our lack of mentality. Somebody did point that out to me yesterday on Twitter. But I said, 7 points back of us now, may struggle to play in Europe next year. I did get that jibe in. But then he said, but here's what's interesting, and this kind of gets you a little bit of insight to how they think. Because I said, I'm hopeful it's going to be a prolonged dark period for Arsenal. I said, that's as possible for you lot as it is top 4. And he goes, it won't be a dark period. We'll get stronger and stronger. No way. If you think about that, you're too hopeful. I said, well, I am hopeful of that. I said, I guess my hope is similar to Arsenal fans' denial of the possibility. I'm like, you got memories. That's great, but that can fade really quickly. And we can speak to that, right? I mean, we really had great memories in the 60s and in the 80s. But man, that fades quickly. That fades quickly, and we don't have any undeniable right to that, nor do they either. So anyway, I just sort of reminded him that, look, here's what I said. I said, don't be mad, bro. And I know that got him mad. I said, Arsenal's a poorly run club, and your success has waned. Those are facts. We'll see what the future brings. I said, competing owners, a lame duck manager, library environment in your stadium, an odd collection of players with no real spine and fans at each other's throats. I said, your future's really bright. And I left it at that.
I gotta love Piers Morgan's tweet before the game. Morning Spurs official.
Yeah.
Meet the man who's going to ruin your lives today.
Oh my God.
And I think he had another one, right? Looking forward to seeing the best striker in Europe.
Yeah.
He had Aubameyang's graphic over Kane.
Harry
retweeted thanks with a smiley face. Classic. And I thought,
that's the ultimate put down.
But by the end of the match, Piers Morgan's tweet was back to hashtag Wenger out. What a nonce.
I know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Talking of nonsense, Ken,
Yep.
and I've seen this going around since yesterday, the half and half scarves?
Mate, I saw a few people wearing them yesterday.
Yes.
And I really wanted to say something, but
Tourists.
I weren't sure if they were like tourists, maybe,
It's
from a
gotta
different
be
country or whatever. But
It has to
Doesn't
be
matter.
for people who haven't got a clue, or
Yeah.
it's their day out for the year. But still, you don't buy that shit.
no.
There should be jihad against all
Someone's
people
making a
involved.
buck off
Vendors, vendors shouldn't jihad on them. Fatwa
The
on
only
a-
time,
on a half
the only
scarf.
time you could possibly tolerate a half and half is if Spurs are playing, I don't know, a Real Madrid or a Juventus or maybe a team from another, country. As a
So did you buy
friendly
any
or
of those
whatever.
this year?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. But that's the only time it could even be remotely palatable. But to have another English team on there, and most specifically Arsenal. I mean, that's just you can't do that shit. Just,
Hey, Vass.
We watched.
Vass.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, who did you have for your commentary? Oh wait, no, I guess you were there. I wonder who was the commentary for the British broadcast yesterday, because we had Lee fucking Dixon. Oh my God, how pro Arsenal the broadcast was over here in the
It was
States.
awful.
I gotta, you know what? I gotta differ with both of you on that. I think he's a great pundit, number one, and I saw your comments on that. Explain yourself, because I didn't think that at all. I really didn't. I think he was very fair. He was very, very angry at how Arsenal players didn't show up. I thought he was very.
I think
because
the
he
first
exemplified
half.
that, though. He
I was gonna say
exemplified
the
the fact
first
that
half.
it wasn't that Tottenham were playing good. It was that Arsenal sucked. It wasn't that Tottenham did something on the pitch. It was that Arsenal didn't do something on the pitch. Everything was Arsenal-centric.
No, I didn't think that at all. I mean, I think he has to come from it from the perspective of playing in that match, right? Because he has played in that match, so I think he's well. I never felt that he was ever disparaging to Spurs. I thought he talked about how, like, for example, how sublime Davies' cross was, how they were tearing Arsenal apart. He just was very honest in saying that Arsenal had subs that just simply weren't ready to come on, that didn't seem to give a shit about the day and what that meant. That didn't show any pride, any courage. I don't think that he was saying anything that took away from Spurs with being the better team. I think he was very honest in that. I don't know. I just think he just gets attacked just because of the nature of sort of who he is and who he played for. I think he's a very, very good pundit.
What about you, Tim?
I was looking at it more from the standpoint of the first half. The way he was talking about it at halftime and leading towards halftime, like Arsenal had been the better team. And I'm thinking, what chance have they had other than Aubameyang ruled off sides once and Bellerin skying it over the bar? They had not a single chance on goal, but the way he was talking about it, and I'll agree with you for the second half, Sammy, but I was upset about his first half commentary. It was just so pro-Arsenal, like they were dominating the game, and I was thinking, what match are you watching?
Yeah, he made one comment in the half that I felt was either a little bit too strong or was probably going to be taken out of context, and because I think that they were the better team. I thought in the first 15 minutes they didn't show much, but I mean was Aubameyang onside? If that would get reviewed by VAR, would he have been found on or off?
I don't know. One angle looked like it was on. One angle looked like it was off.
So is that rule kind of like the NFL where it has to be
level? I thought he was level.
Is it the rule to reverse on VAR? Would it have to be sort of like
Conclusive?
Yeah, like kind of like what it is in the NFL, where it has to be just so conclusive to overturn, and if it's marginal, basically, that it doesn't get overturned. Like, did you guys think that if they had the benefit of VAR, it would have been?
I don't think it can be marginal when it comes to offside. He's either off or he isn't. I think if there's any part of the body that's over the line that they will draw, then his class is offside. I mean,
I thought he was on, but I thought if it was going to go to VAR, I'm not sure it would have been overturned.
Well, let me ask you this: what's it matter if it goes to VAR? It's not like he followed through and scored a goal. Like the play was called dead. He didn't have a shot on goal for it, so it wouldn't have even mattered if VAR goes through and rules him onside. Like, what do you do? Give him a free kick?
Yeah, fair point. Well, look, I don't want to take away from the fact that I understand what you're saying. I think there was one comment that he made in the first half that probably made it feel like that he was saying that Arsenal was dominant. I didn't quite take it for as little as it sounded. I think all in all, he's pretty good pundit there.
But you mentioned something, Sam, just now about the subs, and when I saw the Arsenal bench, really, I mean, aside from Lacazette and Welbeck, there was nothing on that bench. And our bench was pretty solid yesterday. You could have brought anybody on